So how do we progress this? Well, the split squat here that we did, okay, from a certain height, enabled us to get our knee over our toe and a stretch here at the back. So the progression from that is we move that out of the way and we get hold of something that's a little bit lower. Because our leg is lower to the ground, this hip has to go back a bit further and has to then stretch a whole lot more. Why this is because as this knee goes down here, there's not so much same distance from our foot to the floor. This back leg has to stretch a lot more than it would if this foot was elevated higher. So progression for you is to come down and hold that stretch for 30 seconds at a lower height than what you were before. Now, if you don't have a step here like we have at the gym, you can pile some plates up. Or if you're using a staircase, you can use a lower stair. And ironically then, once you get down, and then if you want to go progressive a little bit further, okay, you can use the floor and come all the way down here into this. Now you can see the angle of my hip here compared to the angle of my hip here, how much more work and how much more stretch I have to get, right, when I'm down lower on the floor. So the progression for this is to gradually lower yourself down until you're able to use the floor.
Yeah, maybe you can just say a quick thing about you're intimating it there, about generally people think when the steps get bigger, it gets harder.
Yeah, sure, perfect, yeah. Yeah, of course.
The progression is getting lower.
Yeah, perfect, yeah, okay. Good, I'll say it again. Generally, people think that as a step gets bigger, the exercise gets harder. But now, what happens in this exercise is, because we're getting closer to the ground, the angle that this leg has to stretch at increases. So the pressure on this leg increases the lower that we are to the ground here. So the progression for this is to actually go down lower in levels to where you're working onto the floor.